All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Cram, where Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we are going to talk about Loki season 2, the first episode. It just came out today, a few hours ago. Holy crap! Right off the bat, it picks up. It picks up right where season 1 left off.
Mhm.
It was running.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
kept trying to catch my breath.
Yeah. I mean, so it was Loki. But so with that being said, Brandon, how did you like the start of season 2?
Well, first and foremost, that was one of my favorite things about it, that it picked up immediately where the last season left off.
Mm.
It's very trippy, mind bending, which is what I loved about season 1. So it didn't seem to skip a beat, and it set the it kind of set the tone for a lot more trippy shit this season. I really still like the back and forth between Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I just love Agent Mobius as a character. It's always a joy to watch him. Like that Ke Hui Kwan, if I pronounced his name correctly, I probably butchered that. Showed up. Nice little everything everywhere all at once homage of sorts, with. So that was good. I liked how it kind of kept me guessing as to where they're going, especially like the last 5 or 10 minutes of it. It very much left me in suspense. And I think if you've done something like that with a show, with a plot like this and a concept like this, I think it's really, it was engaging right out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
I
think it was engaging because it continued. It picked up right where it left off, and where it left off was awesome. So yeah, it was like, what's a better way to start a season than to pick up where the last season ended, which was awesome. So yeah, definitely super engaging. Brian, what about you? What you like about it?
It hit the ground running, as we all were saying, but explained all the questions that we had for the end of season 1 immediately, and then gave us new questions. Like, we're like, oh, so what's going on with him? He's going back and forth. Is it different dimensions? No, it's time. They explained it immediately. There was no like, what is it? No, he told us. We get to see that we have similar characters to season 1. So like, at the end of season 1, we're like, oh no, did he lose all these characters? They're now new characters? No. Immediately we have the old characters coming back. We're still seeing these things. We still have things that matter in time and pacing. And then you introduce new characters and add new questions. What do we do here? We still get a little Sylvie. Everything about it was so well done. It's like they waited and they knew all the things they need to hit, and then they gave us new questions going forward for this season. So it's exactly what you're supposed to do in a season 2. Finish up season 1, introduce season 2, introduce new characters, and give us a path. And did all those things in less than 50 minutes. So yeah, this is good.
Yeah. Same for me, man. It was just, like you said, because it picked up right where it left off. It was just like it took me a few minutes to like get like, oh yeah, man, I forgot this show ended with like this big bang, and I was like, oh, okay, and then with the graphics looked great, the whole time slipping thing was cool. Yeah, and it was I thought it was a short round from Indiana Jones, but that was him.
That was him.
That was him. And he was great. This new character that we got was great. Love seeing some of the old ones. Hopefully we get more of them. He was really cool. He was very very goofy, but it fit the TVA kind of universe that they're in right now.
Yeah.
So
very quirky character,
yes.
But like you said, it fits.
Well, if the last person he saw was 400 years ago, I get it. So you start being a little goofy.
I just saw you. How long? Been 3, 4, 6 months? Yeah, 100
that
years. Yeah.
that whole scene was great because the whole time Loki's sitting there, he's like, "Oh yeah. See, they had no like." He was like making fun of Mobius for like kind of like faking it kind of thing, and I thought it was like because that reminded me of old school Loki. Like he's sitting there like letting him dig the hole for himself deeper, and he's just pointing it out. He's like, "Oh yeah, how is everyone else? Oh, there's no one else here. Oh, okay." And I just enjoyed like that because it reminded me of like a very fun, innocent, goofy Loki. You know what I mean? From what we saw in like with Thor, before. So that's why I'm like, okay. I enjoyed that whole scene. But the way they handled this like time travel thing was really interesting.
Mhm.
Where they were able to explain it without getting too crazy, and it fit with what they set up in season 1. So I enjoyed all that kind of stuff with it, with the ending and him needing to prune himself and stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely set things up while finishing up storylines from the first one and able to come in and start new ones. Build off the old ones, if anything. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun with it for sure. And then before we get into some of the bads, let's see what you guys said. Kenny Sparks said, I liked most of this episode I like that most of this episode was of the trailer. Yeah, it was. We have no idea where it's going. Yeah, a lot of it was like the glitchy thing and seeing him with OB. That was all in the trailer. So
Mhm.
yeah, which is good because then it keeps you interested. It's like you didn't see it yet. So he said Loki feels like the most important MCU property to have come out since the Infinity Saga ended. It's the only one that's kind of pushing the story forward, really. Right? I don't think anything else is pushing the story forward. Like Ant-Man kind of a little bit by introducing Kang, but
Mhm.
not really, you know. For the purpose of the multiverse saga. Yep. It says seeing Ikwe Kwan in Everything Everywhere and Loki makes me upset for him when he says he couldn't find work for decades. He's clearly incredibly talented. He is, man.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
sometimes that's how it is, man. Sometimes it's like it's your time, and
Or you're typecasted. Like sometimes it's
yeah,
what it is.
and it takes years to kind of people to forget about you, kind of to reemerge as something new. So, but yeah, I'm glad he's having his moment again, though, for sure. Because he was great as all the younger characters he played, everything. But yeah, I'm glad to see him doing well. H wasn't part of the main cast. He got A with who wasn't part? Who are you talking about? Who's that? Is H wasn't part of the main cast. He got A. He goes A, quote unquote, with. I'm not sure. Explain.
Hey, guys, give me 1 second because he's about to start. He's barking. That's like I got mute. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's all
He's
good.
No problem.
It's all good. Well, who does that? I don't know. I just want to sit here, do nothing. What didn't you like about this episode? Any parts that you were like, I really can care less about that?
I'd have to give it another watch because it's still pretty fresh in my mind. I finished it like right before we jumped on.
Yeah.
Um, I can't really think of anything that um no, because with the first episode, it's it's getting its footing. It's been 2 years since the show's been on, so just
Oh,
really
damn,
getting
yeah.
getting just reacquainted with this world.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I can't really say at this point, man.
Yeah. I guess Ken the same. Don't really have any negatives.
Mhm.
Um, the only negative I had was I wish it was a little bit longer. Like it said it was 48 minutes, like or something along those lines. It felt like when it ended, and I was like, "That's it." Like I felt like I just started the episode, and it
Mhm.
ended. Which is which in reality it's a good thing because you're that. attached to it and enjoying it that much where it feels like it's fast. But yeah, that's really the only thing I could have been good with another like 10 more minutes, maybe.
Mhm.
At least be like one of those crackheads. You got more than Loki, but yeah, but that show itself, I agree with you and Kenny where it was really a really good start of the season. Even had a little post credit scene, which was cool.
Mhm.
But there's not many negatives with it. Because they explain the confusing part with the time slips. They explain that right away. You know,
Mhm.
and that's how season 2 ended. Was like Mobius didn't know who he was. And they explained that right away. They fixed that right away, and now it's on to the actual story. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Oh, Prudence Cat saying the first Loki episode was kind of slow. Really, I don't feel like that. I felt like it
I,
was
di-
really.
I didn't find it slow.
Yeah.
And that was very much introducing us to this world. You know,
Mhm.
so I think
Oh, I said the first season 1
mhm.
was slow. It had its moments. It had its moments where it did drag a little bit.
I thought
Mhm.
it was just
For season 1.
explaining a lot. It was doing a lot of explaining,
Season
setting up.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So I had asked everyone what their negatives were. Kenny said he didn't have any negatives. Brandon said he didn't really have any. I said it was too short. Did you have any negatives that maybe you didn't like about it?
I didn't like the having a end credit scene. I thought that it could have been explained in the regular show. There was no reason to have that end credit scene. They actually took away. So they said that the length of time was 48 minutes, but really it was like 37 minutes. And then they added that other time that was part of the end credit scene. That was really nothing, but they could have added into the show.
Yeah.
I just thought I didn't necessarily need that, but yeah, that's just really something so small. Why am I even picking at it? I don't know. Like it's so small, but that's really it. I mean, I thought that it hit the ground running. So
Yeah.
it's not me complaining.
Well, it's trying to find something negative because
Yeah, like it's hard
yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I did like the telephone ringing part. Yeah, dude, you
Yes.
have seconds and you stop to do a Jason Voorhees walk. That is true. Even my girlfriend was watching. She goes, "Are you gonna pick up the effing phone? Like, you have like no time. What are you doing?" So, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But even that, because Sylvie opens the door and then he gets pruned. I was like, by who? Who, like
That's a good
which,
question.
like it's like a big thing because like, is it a different version of Loki from one of the other lines that pruned that version, or doesn't matter as long as they all get pruned and he ends up in the TVA? It
It
they
happened to
set
prune at
things
the
up.
right time too. That
Yeah,
was
it had to be all at once, so it was kind of interesting. So yeah, yeah, I enjoyed that, but they didn't really show it. So because they didn't show it, I wonder if that's going to be something that affects the story later on down the road. Yeah. So
that's a good question.
yeah, yeah, and that whole Sylvie thing with the telephone thing. What was that? I
Mhm.
loved hearing the recordings when he went back in time and heard the recordings and he saw all the king,
Mhm.
things on the wall that got hidden later. It
And then they're
was
able to show everybody else, and they're like, "Oh, like, we have to pay attention to what he's saying now."
yeah, like you can't prove that he knew that was there. So yeah. But it was really cool because then I I I don't know how you guys thought about the whole the skin melting off kind of gag they kept doing because like that's all he thought about for a while. He goes, "Yeah, but my skin's gonna be gone." He's like, "Yeah, but you still be alive." He goes, "Will I though?"
Well, he said,
I
"Will
thought
I?"
but that was even funny because he starts writing like skin ? Within the dust, like he was that like he's like, I know I have to do it, but still it's my skin.
And then he was wasting all that time and getting back. Hey, you have to come back. Let's go right now. And literally, he would have almost had his skin melted off if Loki didn't come out of nowhere and tackle him into getting out of that room. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah, it was. I did enjoy that, the little silly thing.
Explanation of all the timelines and what they were doing, and the fact that that he was able to, OB was able to, like, hey, don't you know we got to just close this up. I could stretch this out into one timeline. All that was like really cool and well thought out. It was a well thought out plan.
Yeah. So, Sylvie needed some McDonald's. I guess so. I like the hinting towards King and Ravonna Renslayer relationship. Yep.
You can hear it. You can hear it in their voice. It's like, oh yeah.
And then Matt Film Show said, how do you guys feel about the multiverse? I'm not a big fan of it. I just think it's a cheap way to bring characters who died back for fan service. I might just be crazy. You're not. A lot of people don't like it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
No, I need to see more of where they go with it. Because I don't think they've really tapped the full potential of it. I think if they kind of keep I think there's been some wasted opportunities like Multiverse of Madness. Even though I liked that movie, I think that was the biggest offender of a lot of untapped potential. They just need to do something with it. They haven't really done as much as they could with it yet. If they start doing more with it, then we'll see.
That's interesting. I'm actually, I agree with you 100%, but I'm actually more interested in the end of it, the end of the multiverse, than I am in the creating it. I think creating it is fine, but the idea of introducing Dr. Doom, having a battle world, all that is cooler to me than even the introduction. Like I'm just want to be introduced just to get to the end game. Yeah.
But I'm kind of in between, like, because it needs to be set up properly for me to appreciate the ending. Because I think, like you said, where it's gonna end, it's gonna be fine. But right now, they're kind of stumbling at the start of it. A lot of wasted opportunities, a lot of really the only multiverse that's doing it pretty well is Loki.
Definitely.
Like Brandon said, the Doctor Strange movie was such a waste. Like it gave good ideas and then it didn't really do anything with those good ideas. So yeah,
I don't think it was that bad. It's just that they could have made
not
it better.
not a bad movie at all. It just didn't run with its premise when it should have.
It could have been.
It could have been
so much more better.
It could have been epic.
Great. Yeah,
it could have been epic, and it became. That was okay.
Yeah, and I feel like they took the cheap route because I hear you saying the cheap route to bring back characters who died, which I agree that there are a lot of cheap ways to bring back characters, and this is one of them. But like in the Doctor Strange movie, they went the cheap route of not fully exploring all the multiverses. They just told you they exist, and here's a few sprinkles of other universes you never fully dived in. Where here, it seems like you're diving in. Like season 1, you were like in there, and Loki got to experience a whole nother Loki's life, which is the Loki we all knew, and he, cried like we cried when he died, for real, died, not the fake die. So, like all that kind of stuff was interesting, because without that multiverse, the Loki that we have right now would have never experienced like all that, would have never known that there's other Lokis, and would never have known that there's a Loki who actually like became a good guy, and wind up dying because he stood up to Thanos, and stuff like that. So, so it is a cheap way to bring back characters, but it is a good way for characters to like have a little introspection and like see like, oh, maybe I'm not just this little dickhead, who wants to rule Earth. It's like maybe I'm destined for greatness. Like he always says, actually, something great. So,
I
so
always
it
saw it
can go
as
both ways.
every character being the Highlander.
Going
There
be
can
one.
only be one.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people have that same thing where, finding ways to bring back characters, especially multiverse is kind of cheap, but they do it all the time. They're doing it in the X-Men. Well, they did it in the X-Men cartoon or comic book, where basically all the X-Men were like immortal. If you
Well,
die, bring you back from in an egg. I was like, what? That's stupid.
But that is a comic book thing to
Yeah.
bring back people that die all the time. That's just what they do in comic books. You can't
Yeah.
get rid of the title character in a comic book. That's just what it is.
You shouldn't.
Unless you're stupid like Wakanda. Whatever.
So Brandon said, well, when will he head back to the main universe and meet up with Thor again? When will we see White Vision again? So the rumor is the Vision Quest, which was going to be about the White Vision, that got pulled. So that rumor is that we're now no longer getting that show, which would be kind of interesting. So I think they might tell that story somewhere else, which I think would be better in the long run. And I know
what's the name? What's call it? Harkness, whatever. Agatha Harkness. I think is. I can see White Vision being somewhere in there.
I can see that too. And then there was something that came out like recently, where I believe the showrunner or the director or somebody main in the Loki thing said part of the Loki show is not only to set up all the multiverse stuff, but it's also to bring Loki and Thor back together. Like they're gonna find a way to bring them back together. Which when I heard that, I was like, oh, thank God, because they're so great together. And seeing these new versions of each character, I'm really, really curious to see how these two versions of both characters are going to be together.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. He said it. One tear just dropped in my eye.
Yeah.
I had no emotion, just one tear.
Yeah. So hopefully we get both things, but I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. And it said, check out Everything Everywhere All at Once. That is a great multiverse show.
It's the multiverse movie that Multiverse of Madness failed to be.
Yes. Yeah. How that was actually madness and it was actually multiverse. There you go. Nice. You just bought it. Yeah. I bought that thing. I'm so upset. Zacatec's has like the steel book thing with all the googly eyes on it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That was super cool.
I saw this at Target today. I was like, why not?
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, I got that too. And then Kenny Sparks said it should have been Strange, Wanda, and Wong teaming up to protect America Chavez from Nightmare and King.
I was waiting for Nightmare. Nightmare would have been dope.
Nightmare, yeah.
We all were, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Instead, we got like a bootleg Illuminati and stuff like that. But yeah. But yeah. I mean, this episode was great. It was a little, for me, it was pretty fast. It felt fast. Everything happened very fast. But I enjoyed it a lot, and I think it's off to a great start. And I am super excited to see where it goes. I'm super excited to see where it goes. Because it could be setting up the MCU and maybe getting stuff where at some point we have to get back to form, right? We have to get back to the goodness of it all. Right. Good MCU stuff.
I mean, yeah, hope that with good writing, we'll get it. We'll get that. You know?
Yeah. You guys had anything else about Loki? Any good, bad predictions?
Yeah, I was gonna say what I think it's gonna go.
I really don't have any predictions. I have none right now. And
Yeah,
usually I have a bunch, and I have none. I know Brandon's not a big prediction kind of guy.
I think episode 2 is gonna go right towards Sylvie. So we're gonna get a lot more Sylvie episode 2, and then I think they're gonna introduce another character or someone that we thought was dead is gonna be reintroduced. Like something like that. Like I think there's going to be another introduction that we're going to get in episode 2, along with seeing Sylvie and trying to understand where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you're gonna say something, Brandon, or what?
No, I was just saying it's one episode in. I don't want to predict anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
just
there's
kind
a
of.
lot of people coming towards her.
Yeah, they are gonna bring all of the TVA on Sylvie, but she's always been the main bad guy of the show so far, so I'm
Yeah.
not surprised about that. You know, so
Yeah.
we got a couple more comments before we end the show. What do y'all think about the next MCU saga? Will it be Mutant Saga, Dark Phoenix Saga?
I'd say Mutant Saga. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, same. It makes sense. Because you can't do the Phoenix Saga before the Mutant Saga.
Mhm.
You introduced the mutants, but I still think Fantastic Four is going to be huge.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, what if they call it the reboot saga, the restart saga, fresh start saga,
the recast saga? That's what we're going to call it, guys. Recast them all, guys. Recast them all.
Yeah, but I think that like after this one, I think they're gonna focus a lot on the mutants and the X-Men. And Horror Geek, what is up, Horror Geek? I do not care for MCU, Loki, and Thor's relationship. Really? Loki's popular enough to be on his own. Oh, 100%. I'm not saying, I'm not saying like he's not popular where he can't be, because they're both usually good on their own. I think for the most part they're fun enough characters that they can do stuff on their own. But when they're together, it's that brother love hate kind of relationship. Yeah, and
They play well off each other. They really do.
Yeah. Especially like finding out later that Tom Hiddleston was auditioning to be Thor, which is just it's so funny. And then you're like, you know what? I see you being Thor's little dickhead brother. I was like,
he's like, no, I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, and then he sees,
Hemsworth. He's like, so you big horns? That one, okay. Yeah, but really, you didn't care for him because I really enjoyed their relationship. Like from the first one to Ragnarok to the beginning of Infinity War. I enjoyed their back and forth relationship kind of stuff.
I like when they focus on that. I feel like the Thor movies are better when both of them are in it.
Yeah, because like I think Loki always reminds him, like, yeah, you're still my little dickhead, or my brother that you're my gullible brother that I can do stupid shit with.
Turn into a snake and bite him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How do you not love that? That was awesome. That was like one of the best thing with that little part in Ragnarok. So, yeah. And then it's like everyone looks at Loki. He's just sitting there, real tied up. That was awesome. But let's see. Brandon, I like the Black Hunter girl characters. Who was it? It was Renslayer and Hunter, right? I think that was, whatever her name was. So she was cool. Yeah. She was cool when she was like talking to that tribunal, I guess. That was very off-putting because at the whole time I'm like where's everyone sitting? Because I thought the table was a triangle. But so you would see she was on one side, and then the other girl, and then the dude that just slept the entire time, which was fucking awesome. Then it cut to the third person, and I'm like, wait, where is she sitting? And it felt
something was missing. Something's missing.
I felt confused in that room, which was perfect for it, and because the whole thing was like very, very confusing, with what was going on. Is he in the future? Is he in the past? Is he in the present? So I it worked with the show, but at the same point, I'm like, wait, where is she at? Is she in the future, or is she in the past, or what's going on? And that whole scene though was awesome. And then the dude was just sleeping the entire time. I mean, is he dead? Yeah. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, the Hunter chick, she's cool. But cool. I think that's it for Loki's episode 1. So we finished Ahsoka. and right into Loki.
Exactly.
We get another show, and then I believe right when Loki's done, I think there's like 2 other shows that are gonna start. Percy Jackson, I think, at the end of the year, and something else. So we are gonna be having some good TV content for a while, which is good. Good for the winter. Get to hibernate for a while.
Exactly. Hibernation. That's what I need.
Yep. But cool. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us in the live chat, telling us your opinions and your thoughts about Loki and all that good stuff. If you're watching on the replay, let us know what you thought about episode 1 of Loki. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Any predictions where you think it might go? Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Hit that subscribe button, and you can join us live as well. Just like everyone else did. And hit that like button. Lets YouTube know that we are doing some good stuff over here. So we appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, appreciate everyone checking us out. If you're watching live, stick around. We are going to finish things up.